Good evening and welcome again to Monday night. I hope your weekend was well. So my name is Danielle Micken. I am the Divine Channeler and I am here for the Trance Channel transmission. So thank you for joining me. There'll be a few more people pop on hopefully in a minute. I have a little bit to speak about tonight. I've had an interesting week energetically, which every week is interesting energetically. So if you have just jumped on here, please just give me a hello, send me a hug, whatever you want to send me, that'd be great so I know who's here. If you're new to the channel, that'd be even better if you let me know that you're new and you're watching, so I'd appreciate that. So just very quickly, a little bit about me. As I said, my name's Danielle Micken, the Divine Channeler. All of my work is revolved around channeling energies, channeling messages, channeling information. Hi, Jenny. So I've come from a healing background, and it was in that space, I suppose, that I got more and more, hi, Christopher, more and more comfortable with channeling different energies. So my healing practice saw a lot of angelic energies coming in. And then over the years, that expanded to more galactic energies. So I was working quite closely with the Arcturians there initially when I came into awareness of attachments and implants and parasites. So they were on board with me to help me negate those spaces. And it was fascinating. Initially, it was like I'd be given this, it was a bit weird, but this golden vacuum or tube, hi, Julie, that would literally, as I lifted everything up, it would be sucked up this tube of light to be disposed of as it needed to be. So that was quite interesting. I no longer work with that energy anymore because my energy, hi Jack, my energy has increased, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit tonight. So it means that, sometimes what fits for you in one period of time, as you expand and grow, you will move beyond those spaces. So it's really about not holding on too tightly to how things used to be and just allowing the new way to come about. And that's probably a pretty good segue for me to go into my week, because I've had a expansion in consciousness, and it kind of blew the lid off me a little bit. It was quite a lot for my brain to comprehend, because when we're talking quantum levels, as opposed to the poor little linear brain, it's like operating on floppy disk as opposed to something way beyond what we've got computers here. So it was a little bit to process, but what I've found this week is, well, first of all, how are you guys going? So just let me know in the comments how you're going energetically this week as I talk about my week. So this greater awareness has been happening for a little while. I'm in contact with different energies, different beings. There's different information coming through. I'm taking a lot more time to connect in with these energies, and I've found that which is quite unusual, because normally people who can give readings or read energy can't read for themselves. But what I find is that I channel. So because I'm so comfortable in this channeling space, which I didn't finish my story about that, but anyway, because I'm so comfortable in that space, that I am here, but I'm there. So I'm conscious, I'm receiving. I actually do it while I walk. I put my headphones in and I press the voice recorder, and I just start off kind of like I used to do with journaling, is that I just start off just sharing a little bit about what I've got going on, and then I just open up the space for spirit to come through. Back then when I was journaling or automatic writing, the writing would just shift automatically, and it would go from me having a full-on whinge and just expressing everything on paper to suddenly, okay, here comes the stream of consciousness in, and it would just go flat out, no punctuation, nothing. It would just all the way through, and then when it stopped, I would go back and read it. Now what I find is happening is that I am walking, I'm able to have a little bit of a conversation kind of with myself out loud, which is okay. And then I would just say, righto, guys, because I just call them guys, is there anything I need to know, or whatever? And then that stream comes through, that channel comes through, and then I would propose a question, or it could be as simple as I'm hearing it, my brain then starts to ask a question, and then they've already answered it. So it can go quite fast. So that's been a really helpful space for me to navigate with these greater understandings. But yeah, if anyone wants to really get into channeling, that automatic writing is a good place to start, and it can just be as simple as writing down kind of what thoughts are popping into your head, because that's how they work. Okay. We had a very intense, and I mean, class is always big. I say this every week. That was big, big energies, big message, big shifts. It's always a joy, really, to be in those spaces. But this week was a different level of big, and that's what we find. It's just variations of this huge level that we're on, that we're receiving in the meditation classes that I do weekly. And I've got a few of my class on here, so they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. What we did on Thursday, I feel really needs to go out to the public. So the recordings that I've got catalogued, some of them are like 12 months old by the time I get to editing, because obviously that gives my class time to receive the value in coming to a class. I don't want to just start spitting out for the public these classes that my guys have just done. So with that, occasionally I do get directive from Spirit that it's important that that one gets out there. Ironically, what I find with the catalogue and going through it is that whatever comes out at whatever time is perfect as well, because they're not time stamped. So there's that level as well. So what we did in this was, it was all about really empowering ourselves, but we did it through the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is either sitting in joy and power, or it can be sitting in fear. So we did that via a connection with the sun, and via Uluru, which is known as Mother Earth's solar plexus. So it was quite profound for every single one of the class. It was profound for me as well, because it was a new energy that came through, and it sounds a little weird, but and my guys know I don't really use the word weird, and I'm probably still cognizing or processing, but the channel that come through was the actual solar plexus chakra. That's what was being channeled, the energy of that. So that was a bit of a doozy. So with that, it has to go out there to the public, because it's about everyone connecting in with their own personal power. And I think now is a time that people are feeling very powerless. So it's about making sure that you are, and I speak about this every week, I know, but making sure you're in alignment. And, sometimes we give away our own power, sometimes it's taken. So it's just a matter of coming back into alignment for yourself, back into your authenticity, feeling your power, because unfortunately the word power has quite a lot of negative connotations to us. Our association with that word is one of control, control over another, or even manipulation, or it's got a negative connotation. But when you look at it from a metaphysical or a spiritual perspective, it is about sitting in your personal power. So with that, it's interesting actually, as I reflect back on the week, I took my power back this week, not only with that channel, but I did a clearing out of my personal Facebook page, and I found it really cathartic. And I go back to it all the time, and I'm just releasing people from my personal space, because I really want my personal Facebook page to be mine, because it had been infiltrated and blurred its lines with my business spaces. And I think it's really important at this time that we have the maybe the freedom, funny choice of words at this point, but the freedom to be able to express ourselves, and, just I just want to be able to post stuff. I don't post a lot, but I just want to be able to post stuff with people that I would be happy to continue to grow our relationship, or that I would be happy to have come into my home, or I would go to a barbecue, or do you know what I mean? It needs to be something personal. So I highly recommend assessing what your pages look like. I'm even going through the groups that I'm associated with, and I feel like this is because of the shift that I'm currently going through energetically, and that shift in consciousness that's happening for me at this moment. So just let me know if anyone else is experiencing anything like that, whether they're finding that, you know, conversations, people, it's just not resonating with you anymore. I do know that we are going through an incredible shift at the moment. I'm working collectively with a couple of people where we're working within the earth grids and the galactic grids. I was connecting with the earth's cosmic higher heart and her cosmic mind, which is her consciousness, I believe. So there's a lot of shifting gears happening for me. So are you guys finding that? Are you finding that you're shifting gears and you're shifting away from certain situations because they're just not serving you anymore? My advice to you is to just allow and let go, because as you expand, there's quite often not it's like you tuned into a different channel on the radio station. So they're listening to, I don't know, take Bathurst, they're listening to B Rock, and you're on Radio National, something like that. So, yeah, it's a good idea to just be conscious of what's unfolding before you, because then quite often we can be a lot more comfortable in our decisions. So for me, it was a big decision to release quite a lot of people from my page, but it has felt necessary for me to have good energetic boundaries. Okay. All right. No one's got any comments, so we might crack on and see what the channel has. Okay, Emily's shifting. Yes, for sure. That's good, Emily. It can be really challenging as we start to shift, because sometimes we're just not really good at letting go, which is fine. It's quite a human experience, isn't it? So just be really kind to yourself, and you're allowed to be sad for things that you're letting go of. You're allowed to go through whatever you're going through in order to let go of. But I must say that when I come to this realization with my personal page, I spent a lot of time, because that's who I am. I tend to internalize and process and cognize. And it seems to be that when the right time arrives, that exactly the right words are there, ready, formulated. So I just think that's part of my process. Okay. So just take note of your processes as well, and go easy on yourself. So, and I'm just hearing Rome wasn't built in a day. So it does. It takes time to build, the friendships, the work environment, the home. It takes time to energetically build these spaces, and I think everything that we've gone through, and I know I'm a very, very different person to who I was even 12 months ago. But if you look at me 12 years ago, I believe that I have grown an astronomical amount, because there's no way I would have done this 12 years ago or been ready for it. So, yeah. Okay, Tiani says that she's a nana again. My daughter-in-law delivered a healthy baby girl this morning. Congratulations. That is fantastic and very exciting too. So, it's been a while since I've had little bubbas around me. Alrighty, shall we get into the channel and see what they have to say? Make sure your body is open and receptive, ready to receive. You will be receiving not only the words, but the words come with a energetic message. Let's call it that. Like it's a frequency, so it'll be resonating on a number of different levels within your being. Everyone who's been here before knows that I reach up, they reach down, and there is a merging and blending of my consciousness and my physical body with these higher dimensional beings of light. I do it with my eyes closed, because I'm not yet at a stage where I can be looking at the screen and probably be distracted by many things. So I have my eyes closed, and the other thing that you will notice is that there is a change in the tone of my voice. So for those of you who have been here for a while, you would have noticed the different tones. They can be low or they could be high. It just depends. Like what did we have last week? We had the elementals. We had the fairy kingdom come in. So that was nice. So who knows what's coming in? I don't bother checking in. I don't even think it's there for me. I think to receive who's coming in, I think this is just another platform as well for me to give to you guys, but also for me to jump off that cliff every single time I do this. Although I must admit I wasn't nervous this time, so quite often I get a little bit nervous before I start, and this time I wasn't. So I find with this, I'm not a burper, but as we're about to channel, yeah, I can have a little bit of air come up. Alrighty, so yeah, uncross your bodies, be open, be ready to receive. Quite often they'll take you into somewhere deep. They want you to complete something, address something, move into some other state of awareness. So we will see. Okay. Don't want that there. Move. Welcome. We welcome you with an open heart, and we ask that you open your heart to receive us. We come from different planes of existence, but we come from the oneness. We come from a space of consideration. We come from a space of love for you. And we wonder why it is so that you are dismissive of the love that is all around you. That you are dismissive of the compliments that another soul bestows upon you. Maybe you could think of one now that you have been told recently. Maybe it was a compliment of your character or your dress or the way you looked. And your body shirks, your body retracts from the compliment. So if you were to feel into that space and ask yourself, why is it that I am not willing to receive somebody else's compliment to me, about me, for me? And sometimes you only need to scratch the surface and the answer is right before you. Maybe you were never given the encouragement, the confirmation that you were doing a good job, that you were worthy, that your parents were proud. But regardless of how you got to where you are today, you are the one. You are the one that decides what you give, what you take, what you receive. You are the one. So what if you practiced the next time that someone gave you a compliment, that you take note of how your body is feeling about that compliment? And then maybe you could say, I lovingly receive the compliment as it was intended, and open yourself to receive. Because change only happens when you're willing to adjust the way that you have been before. Maybe it's just a thank you. Maybe you hold the door open for someone and they say thank you and you think, oh, it's no big deal. But to that person it was. And your act is one of kindness. So how is it no big deal for your act of kindness to go unappreciated? Do you see now that you may be rejecting the acknowledgement, rejecting that your kindness, your compassion, your strengths, your character are being seen and noticed, even if you do not notice them yourself? So, what springs to mind? What is the most recent compliment that you have received? How does your body feel about it? Because you will get a pushback feeling, a rejection of it, or you will get a feeling of moving into it with the acceptance of it. So even if you don't believe it, work on receiving it, and that will help you to work on all the other issues and blockages. So what if you had your own mantra and you said that now to the compliment, most recent compliment you received? I accept your compliment with the love that it was intended in. I graciously receive whatever your wording is, but be open. Open your heart to see that you are more than the limits that you place upon yourself, that others look at you and see the strength, the kindness, the love, the sincerity. Some of them even sit there and wish that they had your life. And this practice will open the doors for all the other areas that you reject. Maybe there is an imbalance in giving and receiving. Quite often, people can give endlessly, freely, easily. But if the tables were to turn, receiving is a completely different matter. What would happen if you said, "Thank you very much," and didn't argue and didn't try and push it away? Because the universe wishes to bestow upon you many gifts, many opportunities. So we ask that you open your arms, open your heart, and be ready to receive the compliments, to receive the gifts, the opportunities, to not limit yourself. So we would like to bestow upon you a gift to you now. And this gift is symbolic, it is personal, and it is just for you. You may notice that we have placed it in your hands. And if it is a box, why not open it? Why not see what is inside? Maybe you can bring it to your heart and draw it into your entire being. I lovingly accept your gift. I am grateful. I am thankful for this gift. And you could even add that you would like more gifts, more opportunities. And this will put you in a different flow, a flow of abundance, as opposed to a flow or lack of flow and one of restriction. So we ask that you practice. You practice receiving the compliments, the gifts, the abundance, even receiving the joy and the love, receiving the bountiful energy that is all around you. Because you are the gift. We would like you to remember that you are the gift, that you are unique, that you hold an energetic signature that no one else does, that you all each hold individual purposes, that your time here is not wasted. And we are always with you, guiding you, supporting you every step of the way. So remember to ask. Ask for the assistance. Ask for help. And then be open. Be ready to receive. You have been purposely placed upon the earth at this time. It has been by divine design, your presence, your experiences. So find the space within that is ready to receive, that is ready to grow, that is ready to shine and love. We love you. We are always with you. Just taking some deep breaths, feeling your body, feeling your feet and your legs, your hips, your belly, your chest, your shoulders and arms, your hands, your neck, your head. Just starting to feel your body, feeling the space around you. Just drawing your energy in very gently and very slowly. Just coming back into awareness of your body, awareness of the breath moving in and out. So you just slowly come back Just wriggling your hands and toes. Coming back into full awareness of this space, full awareness of this moment, full awareness of your body, coming all the way back. Taking a couple of deep breaths, having a stretch, and when you're ready, opening your eyes. If anyone wants to let me know how you went, how you're feeling, whether you could feel that pushback, the rejection, or the drawing in, if anyone could think of a compliment that they have received that they were really not ready to receive. Yeah, it's challenging. It can be very challenging when we've got a fixed idea about ourselves and other people see us very differently. So thank God that we get that reflection of something different than our own perception. So quite often we can feel that we're not that good, you know. So yeah, let me know how you went with that. I'm not too sure who we had. It sounded like the Christ, but it was slightly different. So I'm not too sure what that energy was, but I'll sit with that. I'll sit with that. Okay, Shell can comment. That's great. So no one wants to make a comment. So they really want you to work with this over, just to be okay. I came in late, but again, I got something I needed to hear at the time. I have to listen to this and recall. I just remember thinking, wow, I needed to hear that. Thank you. You're so welcome, Carol. Thank you for joining. Doesn't matter what time you get here. And it's always available on the replay as well on my Facebook page, Danielle Mick and the Divine Channeler, and also on the same namesake on YouTube as well. So, yeah. Wonderful, Emily. The compliment topic was relevant for me, for this past week for me. It always is, isn't it? I just have to step out of the way and just allow them to do what they do best. I got not much to do with it, although I've got a lot to do with it. But yeah, it's about me not imposing any kind of preconception on any of it. Okay, I've got this new thing where it just comes up automatically. I need to listen to the whole session and we'll do so. Beautiful. Good idea. So that's the practice. If you can really move into spaces of what's the word? Introspection, I suppose. Oh, thanks, Carol. So are you. Thank you. It just reminded me I've seen it on Facebook or somewhere. There's a guy who takes photographs of people and he takes a photograph of them first. And then in the next photograph, he tells them that they're beautiful or they've got a beautiful smile. And you can see the difference in their face, that they're just receiving it and they light up. It's just absolutely beautiful. So Okay, Jenny says, I've been working on accepting compliments for some time now, but at first my inner voice would be saying, not really me, they must be mistaken. Yeah, I get it. For me, I feel that real energetic pushback. It's just like, whoa, no, 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 no. Now I'm better at it than what I was before. So this is your homework. They're giving you homework. They're giving you something to practice it with, to see how you are receiving compliments or not receiving compliments. So if you're having a pushback, to just have a little scratch under the surface. And that's what I literally saw, is that some people, it's just like this tiny little scratch, and everything is underneath, ready for you to become aware of as to why you're not receiving the compliment. So these spaces of introspection, and inviting yourself into those spaces to learn more about yourself, then it's a good place to be. Oh, thanks, Emily. You're amazing at what you do. Thank you. And it's funny because for me it's just kind of normal, and I do get I had a friend of mine say that she was even kind of almost a little bit jealous of what I do, and I tend to not kind of realize that it is a special place. Like, I know it's a special place because I feel that it's special and I feel that it's a privilege, but I don't think I in the past have kind of acknowledged um, um, I don't even know. Well, actually, how good I am at it. There you go. So, seeing where we're receiving compliments. um, yeah, and hadn't realized that other people had seen me in that light. So for me, it's just my divine purpose, and it's just divinely planned, and it's what I'm here to do. So it's work, but it's play, and it's fun, but it's that kind of space. So yes, so please take note. Please encourage yourself to dive a little deeper if it's feeling uncomfortable to you, and go, well, why am I feeling so comfortable that someone's just said I've got a beautiful smile, or gee, very talented with that. And then to work on those ways of receiving. So in your mind, you can just outwardly say thank you. That's a great start, is to acknowledge to the other person that you're receiving it. So it's all about a balance of energies. But in your mind, you could be saying things like, I lovingly receive the compliment, and see what comes up again. So it's just different levels of inquiry could take you deeper and deeper and deeper. So, and it's just about doing your work. That's really doing your own work, your own soul work. That's really, or shadow work, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I do want to announce about my new class. I did have this on here earlier, and yeah, so this new class starts on Tuesday, the 5th of October. So as you guys know, I've already got a trance channeled meditation and spiritual awareness class happening on Thursdays now at 6 o'clock. You're welcome, Carol. And come, you kicked my thing off, but I gratefully receive your thank you. Come October, so we've got one more Thursday class as a standalone class. And then come October, we'll be running 2 classes, we, meaning me and my great team in spirit, running 2 trance-channeled meditation and spiritual awareness classes. So they are a space to dive deep. So we do more of what we're kind of doing here. Here is just a tiny little snippet of bringing different energies through for whatever they would like to share with you. In the meditation space, it is really diving deep into your own soul work. We work on a DNA level. Sometimes we work cosmically. It could be anything. I don't tend to kind of presume. And like last week, I'm going to get that up over the next couple of days, is the latest channel for meditation, which is about that empowerment of your solar plexus. So if you are interested, you will now have 2 classes to choose from. And the Tuesday channel will be different to the Thursday channel. So if you do want to intensify your soul work, then you could come to both classes if you so wished. So yeah, that's an option for you. I am available for the soul guidance sessions as well. So that's an individual kind of one-on-one space where we just gently unpack what's going on. So I read your energy. I'll be given information. We do a little bit of talking at the start and just start to unpack stuff. Spirit starts asking questions, and we just move deeper and deeper into those spaces. And then the information will come out regarding moving into the healing space. I will be healing remotely while we're in that space. So quite often there's stuff that needs to be shifted or lifted and removed. So that's so I do a bit of multitasking in those spaces. So channel of meditation, soul guidance sessions, house and land clearings as well. That's all done remotely, easily. So if anyone's got any issues with that. Otherwise, thank you very much for everyone joining me, and I will be back next Monday at 8 o'clock, and I look forward to seeing you then. So receive your compliments with love and grace as they were intended, and I'll see you next week. See you guys.